this criminal trial.
The former president back in the courtroom today, anticipating at least another 2, potentially 3 weeks of the same routine, facing the threat of jail time if he violates the gag order. We learned that yesterday. Our legal panel joins us now. Pam Bondi is the former Attorney General of Florida, former Special Advisor to President Trump, and Dwane Cates is a criminal defense attorney. So welcome to you both. Pam, we learned this morning, a star witness anticipated to testify today, of course, that being Stormy Daniels. Just wanted to get your thoughts ahead of this testimony and how much of an impact it could have on the president's case.
Well, it could have a tremendous impact, especially if she gets on the stand and starts saying all these salacious things about an affair with Donald Trump. That's not what he's on trial for. I believe the court has already committed reversible error, starting with the jury selection. I think they know that, so now they're letting anything in they want to get a conviction. Nothing about an alleged affair should be admissible, especially coming out of Stormy Daniels' mouth. No relevance. This is about a bookkeeping error, which President Trump did not commit a crime here, and they know that.
And we'll stay on that topic, too, Dwane. Again, Stormy Daniels expected to take the stand at any moment. We do have a reporter there, so if we get any information, we'll bring it to you and have you have your analysis on it. But we're told by a reporter in the courtroom that Stormy Daniels will be allowed to detail the sexual encounters. It was objected to in the courtroom by defense, but prosecution saying it should be allowed to detail the encounters as she sees it fit on how it made her feel. Again, on the stand. So the judge says, okay, you can do that, but the defense lawyers, Trump's lawyers, they can object on the spot. But it goes back to Pam's point, and Dwane, what about that proves bookkeeping errors or ties to the 2016 election?
Actually, it's totally irrelevant to the crimes charged, and it shouldn't be let in. It's purely to play on the sympathies of the jury and to get, and also just to get this information out there to the public to try to hurt Donald Trump in the campaign. So, you know, I mean, they got to prove these were bookkeeping errors. Not only do they have to prove that they were a bookkeeping error, they got to prove that Donald Trump made the bookkeeping error, not one of his assistants, or that somebody did it at the direction of Donald Trump. And there's been none of that so far. None of it. And I love what Donald Trump said. By putting legal expenses down as legal expenses, I don't know where the fraud is.
We know Michael Cohen was an attorney, and of course that would be who would have made the payments, and then Trump sort of paying the reimbursement back. We showed Trump earlier this morning live as he sort of read off these news outlets that had offered their own legal perspectives criticizing the case. Here's the former president yesterday after court, in case you missed that moment.
I have to watch every word I tell you people. You ask me a question, a simple question, I'd like to give it, but I can't talk about it. Because this judge has given me a gag order and said you'll go to jail if you violate it. And frankly, you know what? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. It's not even close. I'll do that sacrifice any day.
Pam, the judge had said he doesn't want to get to that point, but the fact that we're even discussing it, what does this tell you about the case and how the judge might be viewing the trial proceedings?
Well, the judge now is finally admitting that he is the front runner for the next presidency of the United States when he's saying he understands the ramifications if he throws President Trump in jail. And, you know, people need to understand that judge could have called in every single witness, including Michael Cohen. It's done in homicide trials and felony trials all the time, and told every single witness, you're a witness in this case, don't talk about the case. Yet they only gagged Donald Trump, who is the defendant, and all the rights belong to him. He's the one whose liberty is at stake, yet he can't go out there and defend himself. They're letting Michael Cohen be all over TikTok, making money on it, talking about it. It'll be very interesting to see if Stormy Daniels holds a press conference after she testifies as well and tries to sell more of her books. The only one who's gagged in this case is Donald Trump. The judge knows he can't be doing this, but they don't care. All they care about is the short game.
Talking about
Donald Trump.
Yeah, let's talk about the short game here. Dwane, the judge, or rather the prosecution, excuse me, I believe is out of the Manhattan Attorney General's office, or District Attorney's office, excuse me, that they expect this to go on for 2 more weeks, the prosecution, for a couple more weeks. Not as long as maybe we anticipated. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, they've got more witnesses to call,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, they haven't made their case yet. So they're going to have to call everybody they possibly can to try. The hardest part of this whole case is going to be proving Donald Trump's intent. They have to prove that he made these payments, he hid these payments with the intent of helping his campaign, and he just can't do it. I don't know if you remember the Edwards trial, which was a similar thing. He had the same problem. He cheated on his wife while she had cancer while he was a presidential candidate, and they tried to get him for campaign finance violations, and he won the trial. Same thing's going to happen here with Donald Trump.
Yeah, of course, you're alluding to the fact that there would be a number of reasons why perhaps payments would be made, even if nothing happened, just to get rid of the story. Pam, and maybe if you wanted to comment on that, I know we heard from Hope Hicks take the stand. It seemed as though she sort of addressed that theory head on.
Sure. Hope is a friend of mine. Hope is wonderful. She clearly didn't want to be there. And what she said was Donald Trump took the newspapers out that day. He didn't want his wife to hear about this. He didn't want his family to hear about this. Barron was a young boy at the time. He didn't want his family to hear about all these salacious things. And so that was what was in his mind. That ends the prosecution's case right there. Case over. If that was what he cared about, even if the election was part of it, it was about his family. There is no criminal case. He did nothing wrong. They have been creating reversible error since jury selection. With some of those jurors, they let stay on that jury. They know the case is going to get reversed, and now they're letting all of these witnesses say anything they want to try to establish a case, to try to get 12 liberal jurors in New York to convict him, knowing it will get reversed, knowing that the entire time. They don't care.
And again, the potential for allegations coming from Stormy Daniels on the stand, again, under oath, on testimony, that would be able to be referenced till the end of time, again, as this would be on record. This would be on the mainstream media on replay over and over and over, regardless of what happens with the court case itself. Would that hurt the potential front runner at this time? Pam Bondi, Dwane Cates joining us. We do appreciate that. Thank you both. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are